I should have grabbed a drink. I'm gonna do that. Got it. This is Key Brewing Company. This is local to us. John works like right next to it practically, and this is under to Gose. I don't know. It's one of those sour things. I like it. All right, this is episode 42, and my name's Aquila, and I'm coming to you from Baltimore. Excuse that. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as aquilladahun, and I'll put all the information down below. I have one object that was a whip last time that is now practically finished. I'm going to be making it again because, well, it didn't fit MJ. Not properly. I made the smallest size in the Ripple Barlette, and this is by Jessie Maed Designs. It's not big enough. None of the ends are woven in, and it looks super cute on Hazel. I'm not gonna let her wear it because it's like a belly shirt. I am gonna be gifting this to a friend who I know will fit it and look really cute in it. So when I made this for Michaela, Michaela, I think it's inside out right now. It's a mess. It's black. It's hard to see. I thought the small size was going to be fine, and I did add some length to it before I did the top triangle pieces. Still not big enough. I'm going to make it again, and I think I'm going to actually just go up a size, and I'm going to make it a few more inches lengthwise to cover all the boobage. I don't want somebody to feel uncomfortable in it, and I know she wouldn't wear it because she would have felt uncomfortable in it, so I'm going to be gifting it to someone else instead of ripping it out because I have more yarn that I can use to make her one. So that is the Ripple Barlette with all the crazy ends. This thing stretches so crazy. I cannot believe how stretchy this is. I've never done that cast on before. I think I talked about that in the last episode. And it's really, really stretchy. I mean, here it is. I mean, that's as wide as my face. Very stretchy. So that's the only finished object I have. And I have a project you've never seen that's practically finished. So yeah, all right, let me take a drink. This stuff is so good. It's so good. I might be a little flush and red. Yesterday was Miss Z's birthday party, and it was a little bit sunny, and I got a little bit of sun. And then today we had my cousin's little one's birthday party, and we were urban air, and I am way out of shape. It's a trampoline park if you've never heard of it. I don't know if they have them everywhere. I am definitely out of shape. It is what it is. Okay, so the second object that is kind of on, well, both of them I've just kind of put on hold because I was working on other things. Let me go back in my project so I have proper names to give you because I'm really terrible at remembering names of things. Oh, why is it? It's the Graphica sweater, and I was blowing through this. It's DK weight, and I was going through it really fast, and I was so excited about my progress. This sweater, you guys have seen this. I have a sleeve practically done. It's ready to be bound off. See, no sleeve. Sleeve. It's not quite long enough, and it's very big. So what I think I'm gonna do, my yarn is still in there, my waste yarn to hold my stitches. I'm gonna rip all this out. I'm gonna rip all this out. I'm gonna pick up all my stitches, and I'm gonna decrease down because there's so many rows before you start the color, like 2 or 3. I'm gonna decrease down my amount of stitches to the next size sleeve. That's my plan. It's just too big. I can throw it on. I can show you. This yarn I'd never worked with before. Don't know where the labels are now. I talked about it in the last podcast. You could find it in my project notes because I do keep all my projects very up to date. And now that I've tried it on a few times, I'm a little worried that the neckline is gonna be too wide. Also, I would never wear it with a t-shirt because I don't like when it hangs out of the neckline, so it would be a tank top only. So here's the body, which is fine and fits great. But here's the sleeve. It's a little short, which I know I could add some length to it, which I definitely would, but the sleeve is also a little big. I don't like it being, that's a lot big. See how much fabric I can grab? That's a lot. So I need to decrease down. I even decreased in a couple rows here before I did my ribbing because I didn't want the ribbing to be as wide as the sleeve. It wasn't enough. Now I'm sweating. It wasn't enough. And I want to wear the sweater, and I don't want to not wear the sweater. So this is the pattern, and I don't want to give away anything, but I think for the sleeve, I will be going down to the next size, which I was doing size 40, so I'll go down to the size 38, which was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 stitch repeat, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's also 13. I might be going down another sleeve size because I don't want it that big. It looks like the 36 size might decrease a lot faster. Although in the end, they're the same amount, they look like they're the same amount of stitches. Maybe it's one less repeat. I'm not quite sure. I haven't dug into it yet. But I'm ripping it out. Some people might be gasping that I'm ripping out all that color work, but it was so fast. I was using a 16-inch circular and just round and round and round and round. The color work just flies. Because you want to get to that next row and the next row and the next row, and then you want to get to the next, like, pattern. So it really does. It flies. Did I say who this was by? Casapinka. There you go. Now I gotta get this off, and it won't be graceful. Trying to keep those stitches on my needle. Here's the other ball. I have one more color, one more ball of the green, which I know I'll probably need for the other sleeve. Yeah, I might be going down 2 sizes, y'all. I don't know, but I want it to look better than it does because I don't like how wide the sleeve is. Oh, I feel like it's like floating, like bell-bottomy and big, and that's not me. I like my sleeves to be pretty, not tight, because I do like to bunch them up sometimes, and I do like to have some wiggle room. I don't want it to feel like a second skin. Just a little bit tighter than it is. That's all. That's all I'm asking for. That's it. All right, that's 2. The other sweater that I was working on, excuse me while I reach, was the Magpie Tendency, and that was by, my tablet never wants to go back to the right thing. Magpie Tendency, and that was by Melissa Alexander-Loomis. Loomis Butthead. That's not nice. I was using the Lolo Did It set that I had gotten. It was the monster set, and it was the El Chupacabra colorway with the mini in the gray. What are you? Sure, take it in there. So I did all the repeats the way I was supposed to in the body. It called for so many repeats, whatever it was. And I did an additional 1, 2, 3 repeats. I have this much left. I might try to get those last, 1 more repeat in. I want to use up every inch of this. I just want it to be longer. I know it's superwash. I know it's going to grow. I just don't love cropped things on me. If it hits right at my jeans line, like right at my belly button, I'm okay with that. If it's higher than that, I'm not okay with that. It's just too short. Too short for me and my body shape, which is fine. So here's the sweater. So really after that, I'm just doing all the edging. So I'm also, this is a size 46 that I'm making because it's supposed to have so much positive ease. There it is. So if I were to make a lot of noise again, and I can hold it kind of up to me, you can see kind of where it's hitting there. And of course, if you stretch it, it's going to stretch down closer to where I would like it to sit. I could be done this today. I honestly really should just kick some butt. Finish it. Go grab a tank top, put it on, and try it on. Post on Instagram. Repeat. All the things. I think I might try to work on this today and finish it. This and another project that you haven't seen yet. Because I would like to gift it. That's why I'm recording today. I want to gift this and get it out of here. And then I can start a new one. And then I can gift the other thing and it's already on the podcast. Yeah. All right. I do love this. I think the color is beautiful and the matching color is really, really beautiful too. And I have plenty of this that I might actually do maybe one repeat instead of trying to finish the repeat in this, cast this on and finish the repeat in this color because I have plenty. You don't need much more for the sleeves. Is that a good idea? Yes? No? B? Maybe so? I can rip it out if I don't like it. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Only 2 more things. That's it. It's gonna be short, and that's okay. Magpie tendency. And I would like to make another one of those in another color. All right, let's jump into crochet. Let's see if I can go back this time, if it lets me. Notebook, projects. I really do love Ravelry for the ease of all the project names and designer names. Okay, this is crochet. I'm using my trusty tulip hooks. I love these hooks. My husband got these for me. This is an H size. And I bought 2 cakes of Caron cakes. When I bought them, I thought they were the same color. They were not. I posted a picture, you can see it. They're totally not the same color. One is called Rainbow Sprinkles, and one is called Rainbow Sherbet. All right, this is called the Round Waffle Stitch Blanket by Cathy Henry. I have never done the waffle stitch. I probably should have done the waffle stitch prior in a straight blanket, like in a square, so I knew what the heck I was doing, but I was just doing it. All right, you're not gonna really see the yarn in the cake because I've used it and I only have a very little bit left. This is what I have left. And there's a tiny bit of green inside. All right, here it is. Now I know where the 2 colors changed and I can show you where I joined them. Here's where the second cake is joined. So where this second red is. But you can barely tell. Okay, the green is a little bit of a different green and there's a little bit of different blues. How is that? Oh, and I think this one has yellow. The second ball. The first ball didn't. The second ball does. I don't remember which ball was which. But this is the waffle stitch and it's gonna stretch. Even though it's acrylic, I am going to try to stretch it as much as possible. It's not giant. I don't want it to be giant. I could have bought another cake, but I don't want to. I don't like when the stripes start getting really, really thin. I like them to be a little bit thicker. I mean, it's cute because it does great, you know, they get progressively smaller. But I like giving baby blankets that are more car seat size, and then they can use them as like tummy time blankets or just little snuggle blankets as they start to get a little bit older. A big giant blanket, a toddler that's learning to walk, cannot carry it around. And this is more of an appropriate size, in my opinion. But this waffle stitch is pretty darn cool. You're going into the front of the legs and the back of, so like you went in the front and in the back in certain ones. It's really cushy and airy. And yes, baby fingers are gonna go through this because my finger can go through, but I don't like when crochet is really, really holy for babies. That I don't like giving blankets that have a lot of big holes in them. That's just my opinion, just what I like to do. So I only have this much left. I have, this much is barely gonna get me maybe a round or two, maybe two. And then I'm gonna figure out how to, I might just keep going and then just kind of single crochet the edge in to make it kind of flat. You wanna say hi?
Look what I have.
Oh, you're gonna show them a blue lollipop? You gonna tell them what we did today? What did we do today?
We went to Emma's party.
Emma's party, yeah. It was like a trampoline party, right?
Yeah,
It was
and
cool.
I have a blue lollipop.
You do have a blue lollipop. And what did we do yesterday?
My tongue's so blue.
It's very blue. What did we do yesterday? What was yesterday? What did we do here at the house?
It was my party.
Your birthday party. How old?
4.
And who did we have come and perform at our house? What did we do? Do you remember?
Like magician time.
The magician came with his bunny.
Yeah.
Mr. Liam. If you're in the Baltimore area, Liam Lafferty. Look him up. He was very good. He made balloon animals. You had a lot of fun, didn't you? All right. Can you go back in with Daddy?
No.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Blue tongue. Goofball. Okay. So one more project to show you, and we're jumping back to knitting. And this is a pattern by Kay, who is the crazy sock lady. And she put out the heel toe do-si-do pattern, and I had to have it because I thought it was
Look at this, everybody.
your little pouch. Okay, go back in with Daddy, please. Thank you. So she put out the heel toe do-si-do pattern, and I really, really loved that it was, the back was in plain stockinette, and the front has like a chevron, and I thought that looked really awesome. People were doing them. Well, I think she initially did all of hers.
Look, everybody.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Can you please keep her wrangled in there?
Hey, get in here.
Bye. Okay, so she was using Desert Vista Dye Works, I think, when she designed it, the yarn by them. And that's the self-striping, and she does some really awesome colorways. I actually have some that I won, that now I might have to do another pair of heel toe do-si-do for myself. These are not for me, these are a gift. Hazel had picked the yarn last year when we were in Winchester, Virginia at the Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival. I can't remember the name of the yarn shop in downtown Winchester. But Hazel picked this for a special person, and I don't want to name names. I don't know if she watches. I don't think so. But this is a Trekking XXL yarn, and this is German yarn. I believe it's German because it's shower wool and polymid. So it's 75-25. Superwash wool and nylon. It's 459 yards. Yeah, it's made in Germany. I've used this yarn before. I can't remember. I think it was for socks, but I thought it was very Christmassy, and so did Z, and so we bought this yarn. It's not gonna focus, but that's okay. But it doesn't quite stripe, which is perfectly okay. It would have been really cool if it did, because I really thought the socks in the striping was really neat looking. This is the largest size, so it's 72 stitches. I am past the heel on this one, and this is the first sock. So here is the front where you see that chevron pattern. So the yarn is like pooling in stripes, like micro stripey pooling. And I think it looks really cool. So here's stockinette side, and then a slip stitch heel. And I think it looks really neat. And of course there's the chevron part. Here's my heel, and now I'm just working down the foot. It is very easy. It is a 2-row pattern. Even if you're a beginning sock knitter, her pattern's really well written. So I suggest trying her patterns if you really would like to, because at least this one I know is very simple and very beginner friendly. So you should definitely try it out. And reasonably priced too. I don't think her prices are outrageous. And I know a lot of designers are really helping now with price. For people that can't always afford for a pattern for $8 or $9, they might have a coupon code, and if you feel like you can afford the pattern at a 50% price or whatever the price ranges are, they're doing that. And I think that's really awesome of designers. And I think that, you know, the honesty of people is gonna be a good percentage of the people out there. I feel like if you can afford to buy the pattern, I think people are gonna pay the price point. And I feel like if you feel like you can afford it and people are like, well, I can't really, you know, afford that one right now, then they're gonna go for the cheaper pattern, and I think that's okay. And they're offering it, and I feel like if you can't afford something, then you should do that. And I also feel like, you know, I'm very much for people buying, you know, box store yarn, because there is plenty of box store yarn that even is 100% wool, and you can get good yarn for good prices and make yourself sweaters and socks and stuff that's gonna be more
Hi, Mommy.
hi baby, be more not eco-friendly. I'm not trying to think of that. I'm trying to think of like sustainability, like something that's gonna last longer in your wardrobe. Like wool's gonna last longer. Acrylic will probably last a long time, but it's also a very warm thing to wear. You're wearing, you know, plastic on your body, and that's perfectly okay. Like I have sweaters that I've made in acrylic yarn. And I would make more sweaters that are like partially acrylic. I don't have anything against that. Because sometimes sweaters are expensive. I mean, I know when I bought the yarn for my Casapinka, it was the Paige the Framer's shop, Frame and Fiber, was having like a huge blowout sale, and that's when I snagged my yarn for this, because it's really hard for me as a mom and a wife who's trying to like keep budgeted in a household and things like that, to spend $100 on a sweater. Do I need to have that sweater? No, I don't. My kid could need school clothes or shoes, or we might need groceries in the house before I need $100 of yarn to make a sweater, and I would feel guilty. That's why I'm really trying to work down my stash now and doing some like color work sweaters, and maybe doing some color blocking in some sweaters, and just maybe like huge chunks of color, and just roll with it, because I need to use some of the yarn in my stash before I really start putting more money out. I know Shenandoah is coming again, and we're going to that, and I don't know what I'm going to end up buying, because I don't have anything that I need. There's nothing I need. So I might go support the festival, you know, maybe buy a notion, something notion-y, or look through my stash before I go. Maybe I say, I have these 3 skeins that are gonna work really great together, but I kinda need something in my stash. And then maybe buy from a local vendor and support somebody locally. that's where I'm trying to head right now, because I mean, I could turn my camera around and show you what's in my cabinet. Now that's just more, there's some box store yarn in there, but it's mostly like indie dyed yarn, and that cabinet has a lot of skeins in it. I mean, I keep my stash on Ravelry also up to date, so if you went in my stash and you could be like, holy crap, she has a lot. And I feel like I do have a lot. I mean, I don't have a lot as some people I've seen out there, but I just also I'm trying to be really conscious money-wise. So, yeah. So I'm trying to use up stuff. So when I'm finished with this, I know I'm never going to use all this. There's a lot. What am I going to do? Maybe do some monster socks. Like, people have been doing these fun scrappy socks, and I've never actually made a scrappy sock, and I think that would be fun. I have my scrappy blanket, which is what most of my leftovers like this has been going into. So I did make one purchase, though. I'm here sitting talking about, like, I'm not going to buy yarn. Now, of course, I did buy the Caron cakes because I specifically wanted a DK weight, self-striping, easy care, 100% acrylic yarn. And I had a project already in mind for it. I knew I was buying two, and they were like buy one, get one, I think. I think it was buy one, get one that day I was there at Michael's. So I really I couldn't complain about that. Now I could have went down, I have a whole stash of box store yarns that are mostly acrylic, and I could have went through that and pulled out like 8 colors and just woven all the ends and self-striped it myself with doing that. And I could have done that. I was being really lazy and I didn't feel like going through all my yarn. All right, so the one purchase other than the Caron, because this was super cute. Z has a little friend at school, and I want to make these. It says it makes 2. It's by Red Heart, and you get all, like, how cool is that? It just looks so cool. They have a bunch of them, so they're amigurumi. I can never pronounce that correctly without reading it. This one's called Mermaid, and you can make both of these mermaids. The patterns are free on the website, Red Heart's website. You can knit them or crochet them. Now I'm going to knit the bodies because I think the bodies will look better knit. And all of their little accessories, because you can make tails and you can make skirts for them. I'm gonna crochet those because that is gonna go really fast instead of fiddling with little tiny needles. So it says it makes 2. I'm gonna make them each the same one because they're 4. If I make them different ones, all hell is gonna break loose. Yeah. So you'll see these hopefully in some stories on YouTube, on Instagram, and maybe even in my next podcast. And John and I have something special planned yet for a YouTube video that we haven't done yet. So stay tuned for that also. Oh, and for these, I have to make the same hair. Obviously, they have to be the exact same doll. Like, seriously, it would be bad if they weren't. I don't like the knit hair of the girl in the red, with the red hair. They crochet her hair on the crochet one, and it is awesome. Like, it looks so cool, and I have to crochet it. So that's what I'll be doing. So that's everything I have, guys. And yeah, I feel bad that I don't really have a whole lot new, and I didn't really make progress on Magpie. I mean, I did add the length. That's really all I had done to it. So I added some length. I'm almost done that. I'm really gonna push for that to be finished for the next podcast. I'm even gonna push for Graphica to be finished. Maybe I'll do a YouTube story and tell you guys what I end up doing. I'm gonna rip it out. Maybe I'll rip it out on YouTube, on Instagram. You know, make everybody go, she's doing that. Yeah, I'm doing that. All right, until next time, knit happy, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye. You doing the moonwalk? Yeah. Come back this way, do it again. You gotta turn around. Good moonwalk, babe.